All right. Good evening, everybody. I think some people might want me to talk about Bari Weiss is leaving the New York Times, her resignation from the New York Times. I skimmed over that resignation letter, heard a lot about it on the radio. Really, I don't have that much to say about it. You know, she seems surprised that, the New York Times changed. We've known for, I don't know, 30 years that you know, that the New York Times was less than, I don't know, maybe not 30 years. 30 years ago was probably the first time I read the New York Times. I was 6 years old, and my mother and my grandparents were so impressed. Wow, I could read the New York Times, you know, because that's some advanced reading there. But all I read was the headline that the Cold War ended, you know. But I don't know if that, Cold War over. I don't know if that means that's the that means I'm reading the New York Times. So, but that's the story we have here. And I at least since I'm, I don't know, 15 years old, 20 years ago, I knew the New York Times was bad. I used to watch public access TV in Queens, right? And they call it either the New York Tame. That's what one of the people would call it. Tame means unclean, impure, and another would say, I guess, I don't know, what did the Victor Van Seer used to call it, the New York. I don't think he called it the New York Slimes. I don't know, but we woke up to what the New York Times was a long time ago, and it really underlies everything that Dennis Prager always says. And I don't always agree with Dennis Prager about his religious comments, but his social comments, it makes a lot of sense that there's a difference between liberal and leftist. And I myself, I think I've become more liberal personally over the years. I've become much more open-minded and liberal than I was 20 years ago. And I was much more of a purist and absolutist in a lot of things when I first came to religion. And now I'm much more open-minded and classically liberal. And the ironic part of that is that the home of the classical liberals now is the American right. The American so-called conservatives are really the classical liberals, because the things that we're seeking to conserve are authentic liberalism, and that there is a marked difference between the left and the liberal. And that there's really nothing liberal about those on the left. Hillary Clinton, a number of years ago, said she's not liberal, she's progressive. She made a distinction between liberalism and progressivism. And the left has abandoned liberalism and embraced progressivism. And so it's really no surprise that the New York, what quote unquote has happened to the New York Times. The surprise is that someone like Bari Weiss can open her eyes to that and see that. Because she had to mention that she left the Wall Street Journal for being too anti-Trump, but it wasn't good enough for the New York Times. And I really don't know that much about Bari Weiss. I know she hangs out in Borough Park a lot, and and she has what to say there. And I know she, is proud of being Jewish, whatever that means for her. I don't know what that means. To me, I'm not proud of being Jewish. I'm proud that I try my best to be a servant of God through His Torah. But it has nothing to do with quote-unquote being Jewish. We should be humbled by being Jewish, not proud of being Jewish. V'yigba liba b'darkei Hashem. Our pride is in the ways of the Lord. The pride of our hearts. And I'm not saying she's not religious in her own way. But here's someone who's trying to be classically liberal in a certain sense, and not kowtowing either to the right or to the left. And the left wouldn't have her. And then there was comments this morning about how anti-Semitism is the one remaining acceptable bias. And then Hugh Hewitt said, anti-Catholicism is a close second. I think it might be the opposite. And I think a lot of people mistake what anti-Semitism is and what Judeophobia is, what anti-Jewish sentiment is, what anti-Torah sentiment is. And I think, I've often said that my feeling is that we have to get into espousing diversity as a conservative value. And the main value of diversity in the conservative sense is diversity of thought. And when Jewishness is reduced to a mere accident of birth that doesn't require anything, it's not a covenantal relationship with the Almighty, even if we sometimes fail in our keeping to that covenant. We find ourselves missing out on what it's really all about. And so this concept of quote-unquote anti-Semitism, it's really a misnomer. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Just like the Muslims speak about Islamophobia and Catholics speak about Catholic bashing, we shouldn't be concerned about some accident of birth that many Jews happen to be the biological offspring of Shem, the son of Noah, but rather that what we should be more concerned about is our devotion to the ways of Shem, the son of Noah, the ways of Abraham, the ways of Isaac and Jacob, the ways of Moses. That's what we have to be concerned about. So when Bari Weiss got bashed for talking too much about the Jews again, I'm not sure. I didn't read her book. I don't know. I know that she was signing it and and Eichlers, you know. I don't really know. I don't know what she believes. I don't know what she practices. She seems like someone who practices more than the average Jewish person. But that's none of my business, you know. She does seem to have some kind of a religious aspect of her Jewish identity, which is important, even if there are aspects that we disagree with. But we have to work on these things. We have to figure it out. And I really don't know, but we're not going to have our salvation in the New York Times. You know, for so many Jews, being a Jew is eating bagels Sunday morning and reading the New York Times. I don't know if it's still like that these days. You know. But there's way too much going on. I don't know. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. We'll see you later. I didn't say anything in this video, did I? God bless. Take care.